their jobs and maybe don't retire until their 80s. Or some folks are fortunate enough to retire at a much earlier age. There is no age on retirement. Whatever the case may be, whichever path you take, dividend investing can play a huge role towards you building not only wealth for yourself, but what I like to call generational wealth through the power of compounding. And that's exactly what dividend investing is. Far too often when it comes to folks looking into dividend investing, they just take a look at the year one dividend income. And when it comes to dividend income, it isn't about the year one. In fact, it's not really about the years 1 through 5. Dividend investing is much more than that. It's a process that you need to allow to play out. Dividend investing is much more about those years 10 plus. Take, for example, let's say that you invest $10,000 in a dividend stock that may yield 2%. You would earn $200 in year one dividend income. No one is retiring on $200 per year in dividend income. And that right there can turn off hundreds of thousands of people. But again, it's not about the year one dividend income. And let me show you right now.
Let's assume at 22 you got a pretty good job. And instead of spending your money on gadgets or a fancy apartment or not so fancy apartment or going out and drinking a fair amount, you put some money aside, you start investing money. Let's say you could save $10,000 at 22 and you can earn a 10% return on that money between now and the time you retire. What would you have in 43 years? The answer is you put aside $10,000, you don't save another penny, and you invested it and you earn 10% on your money each year, you'd have $600,000 in year 43. And the reason for that is, well, in year one, your $10,000 would become 11. In year two, your $11,000 would grow by 10%. And so you'd be earning interest, not just on your original principal, but you'd earn interest on the interest you'd earned in the previous year. And that compounding effect allows money to grow in an almost exponential fashion. Now, obviously, if you earn more than 10%, you can earn even higher returns. Now, that's if you put $10,000 aside in 22, you have $600,000 in 43 years. That's pretty good. What if you had to wait until you were 32? The problem there is, by year 33, you'd only have $232,000. Maybe that's not enough to retire. So a key thing here is, if you're going to be an investor, it's really one of the most valuable assets you have today as someone who's 18 or 19 years old is your youth. You want to start early so that your money can grow over time. Albert Einstein said the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest.
Dividend investing is that process that builds up over time through the power of compounding. So here's a look at my compounding calculator, which is available to all students who work with me inside my 6-week investing accelerator program. So at the top, we're just going to use round numbers here, but let's say you have a portfolio worth $100,000, and we're going to add $1,000 to our account each and every month. On average, we'll say our portfolio grows 10% per year, which is conservative compared to what we've seen the past decade, but much more in line with what we've seen over past few decades. Let's say our portfolio has a dividend yield of 3% with an average dividend growth rate of 12%. All these inputs are fluid and can be adjusted.